the Samsung Galaxy S3.
How important is this new smartphone for Samsung? We've heard so much about it, so many rumors, but now it's finally coming out.
Well, it's clearly important. I mean, we've had such success with the Galaxy S2, and I think, as you know, there's been a lot of buzz around what the S3 was going to be. And I think what we've seen and what you've been shown is something that's truly amazing.
Give us some of the ideas of what changes between the 2 and the 3.
Well, I think one of the fundamental things is, from the hardware side of things, as you'd expect from Samsung, we've taken a leap forward. So all the functions of the product have been, improved dramatically versus the S2. I think the added things that have really got us excited is that the interaction with the phone, the whole way that the phone can actually listen to you, it will actually interact with you, and it can anticipate some of your needs, is a genuine wow about the product.
Now, obviously, smartphones have so many widgets and gadgets now. Do you think sometimes it's too much? I mean, it's a lot for people to absorb. There's eye recognition, there's obviously the enhanced voice recognition, front and back cameras, there's HD video, there's all the near-field communication. I mean, it's a lot to get people to be able to learn how to use.
Sure, but I think the important thing is actually making sure that interface is intuitive and simple, and I think that's a lot of what the new Galaxy S3 is able to do.
Well, that's the view from Samsung. Now let's hear from a tech expert, Will Fenlander from Stuff magazine. What's your first impression of the phone?
I'm really impressed with it. The first thing you notice is that huge AMOLED screen, and it really is, it's amazingly crisp. It's a proper HD resolution, and with the AMOLED tech, it means that you get really, really vibrant, crisp images.
And customers are happy, you think, consumers to have a bigger phone. That's where it seems to be going.
Well, it's personally, I'd go for something a little bit smaller, but a lot of people, there's an appetite for devices of this sort of size, even bigger devices as well. And Samsung's shown that with the Note already. So I can see this being very, very popular.
Obviously, the Galaxy S2 was a game changer for Samsung, and now they've become a dominant player, the dominant player, some say, in the smartphone market. Is this a huge leap forward for Samsung, or is this just going to solidify their dominance in this market?
I think that this is this is more about solidifying. The S2 was the phone that really changed things for them, because until then, certainly from Stuff's point of view, the iPhone was the go-to smartphone. The S2 suddenly leveled the playing field a bit. Suddenly Android seemed like a real contender.
And a quick thought on Nokia and on BlackBerry. I mean, two struggling companies, struggling mightily. Do they have a chance to get back into the game, or has Galaxy Samsung made it even harder for them?
It's certainly up the ante once again, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Windows, because Nokia is now in bed with Microsoft, and Windows Phone 7 is a lovely operating system. It doesn't seem to have really worked out for them yet, but when Windows 8 is out and suddenly you have these two really compelling screens working together, that might really work in Nokia's favour. The iPhone 5 is going to be very, very interesting too. iPhone is going to remain popular, no doubt about it. Android attracts a slightly different audience, but specification-wise, there's nothing on the market quite like this at the moment.
So while we don't know the price of the new phone yet, we do know from Samsung that it'll be launched in Europe and in other major cities around the world on May 29th. Jim Bolden, CNN, London.